Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this 60-minute water vinyasa style class. I'm Rachel. It's nice to see some new faces here today. I'll be guiding you through the practice today. So let's go ahead and get started. Come to a comfortable seat, either hips to heels or an easy pose with your legs crossed out in front. Start by closing the eyes. Starting to ground down either through the shins, the tops of the feet, maybe the sit bones. We'll start to just build mountain pose from our seat. So gently hug the low belly in and up. Reach the heart up toward the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back and down. Relax them down the back, down the spine. Lift the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. Feel the spine get long and light. And just start to notice the breath. Maybe sit up just a little taller, and let's go ahead and begin to breathe together. Inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the top. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Pause. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. This time pause for 4. Exhale for 4. One more like that. Inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale for 4. Take one more cycle like that on your own, and we'll meet up in child's pose. Start by grounding through the fingertips and the palms, maybe lightly gripping the mat, pressing the hips back toward the heels, maybe even letting the knees fall out wide if that feels good on your low back. And just settle in for a moment. Our theme today for class is on expectations and letting go. So forget about the past and forget about the future. Forget about your goals, your plans, and your expectations. And today and every day, just drop into your thoughts about the present. In this child's pose, I want you to bring to mind one thing about your practice that you assumed today. So maybe which pose is your least favorite? Maybe how deep your back bends typically are or should be. Maybe even your expectation that you can't do a certain pose. I want you to bring it to your mind's eye. Grab it, hold it, place it in the palm of your hand, look at it, turn it around. See it for what it is. Now crumple up that expectation and throw it away. Release yourself from that expectation, the expectation of holding yourself either to a standard of who you were yesterday or the expectation of who you think you aren't today. And instead, do what feels right moment to moment. Today, allow yourself to drop into your body and follow your intuition. Let the feeling inside of your body, not your mind, be your guide. And so we practice. Take an inhale and exhale. On the inhale, let's come up to all fours and get ready for cat-cow. Starting to ground down through the palms, bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. As you inhale, heart forward, gaze forward, the belly drops low. As you exhale, chin to chest, spine high, arching your back like a cat. Inhale, heart forward, gaze forward. Exhale, chin to chest, spine high. You'll start to take a few cycles on your own. Maybe shifting the hips side to side, maybe sending the shoulders side to side. Cat-cow is a great way to explore how we're feeling today. And just start to take notice. See what stands out to you in this round of cat-cow as opposed to how you typically feel. Let's start working into the wrist as well. So go ahead and spin the right hand to the right 90 degrees, left hand to the left 90 degrees. Taking another round of cat-cow, or starting to just make circles over the hands with the shoulders. Maybe even tucking the toes under, sending the hips back, starting to feel the stretch in the low calf, maybe the bottoms of the feet. And if you're feeling open, spin the fingertips back toward the knees. And again, sending the hips gently toward the heels, letting the palms lift off the mat. Another option is to ground the back of the hand into the mat and flex the fingertips toward the face. Take one more full round of breath. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to neutral, fingertips pointing forward. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips, and let's come into downward facing dog. And just start to pedal it out here. Again, sending the hips side to side. Maybe rolling over onto the tops of the feet. Grounding through the index finger and thumb pads. Spin the inner elbows forward. Biceps are next to the ears. And then find the tailbone and reach it up toward the ceiling, lengthening through the spine. And start reaching the heels back down toward the mat. Inhale the breath. And exhale. Inhale, hips high, heels high. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the shins parallel to the mat, pressing the heart back toward the thighs. Inhale, hips high, heels high. Exhale, this time let's go ahead and cat roll forward to plank. You may need to send the feet back. Reach the heart forward. Lift the gaze just about foot out in front. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, hips high, heels high. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the shins parallel to the mat. Inhale, hips high, heels high. Exhale, cat, roll forward to plank. Hold strong. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Shift the gaze forward and slowly tiptoe to the front of the mat. Meet up in ragdoll. Bend the knees, bring the low belly to the upper thighs, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, and just let the head, let the shoulders, the arms hang heavy, maybe swaying side to side. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and take a shoulder opener. So interlace the fingers behind the back, reach the knuckles up toward the ceiling, and start bringing the hands toward the front of the mat. Feel free to stay here. Start working into the hamstrings slowly, straighten through the legs. Think about rotating the inner thighs toward each other. Inhale. And exhale. Gently release the hands down to the mat. Bring the palms about 8 to 10 inches out in front of you. Shift the weight forward, coming up to the toe mounds. Tuck the chin to the chest and bring the hips down to the heels. Feel free to stay here working into the upper spine by pressing the hands into the mat, or you can let the knees come wide and start working into the inner thighs. Maybe just reaching out in front, getting long through the spine. This feels good on the low back. Or if you'd like to come into a flightless crow, you can also feel free to go there. And slowly bring the hands back under the shoulders. Bring the knees back together if they're splayed wide. Lift the hips, bring the heels back down to the mat. Put a slight bend in the knees. Rotate the palms. Inhale, sweep the arms high, palms touch. Let's go ahead and take star catchers. So grounding through the right foot, reach the right arm up toward the ceiling, getting long through the right side body. Gaze shifts high and release. Switching sides, grounding through the outside of the left foot. Reach that left arm up high, get long through the left side body and release. Go ahead and bring the hands to heart center. And we'll set an intention for our practice today. Bring your intention to your mind's eye, and we'll go ahead and seal our intention with one sound apiece, one Om. If you're shy to Om, just feel free to hum loudly. Exhale the breath. Take a deep breath in. Take a long breath in and a slow breath out. Gently blink the eyes open, release the arms by your sides, coming into mountain pose, and step to the front of the mat and get ready for step back sun salutations. As you inhale, sweep the arms high, palms touch. Exhale, slight bend in the knees, swan dive forward. Inhale to a long spine, heart lifts. Bring the hands to the shins, send the hips to the back of the mat, reach the crown of the head forward toward the front. Inhale, and exhale, fold forward. This time, bring the fingertips just outside the toe tips, heart lifts. And as you exhale, bend the knees, step the right foot back, coming into your lunge. We're going to go ahead and build out the lunge here today, staying strong in the feet and the legs to start with. So right heel should be over the toe mount. Even feel free to look back and make sure that the heel isn't reaching back toward the mat. Ground through the heel in the left foot. Send the hips forward and down, starting just until you have to start to engage the belly. Inhale the breath. And on the exhale, see if you can bend a little bit deeper into that left leg. Go ahead and ground the hands into the mat and step the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Inhale, cat, roll forward to plank. And we're going to lower down to the mat. Feel free to drop the knees to modify. We're going to come into cobra. Ground through the pinky toes, gently lifting the kneecaps off the mat. And when you're ready, start to lift the heart and chest, maybe the top of the stomach off the mat, just until you start to feel a stretch through the core. Bring the palms back toward the hips. Inhale, see if you can go just a little higher. Exhale, release the forehead back down to the mat. Press up to all fours and the hips to the heels, coming into child's pose. This is your pose of rest, your pose of recovery. Feel free to come here anytime you like during class. Child's pose is always waiting for you. Inhale and exhale. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, bring the right foot to the right thumb. Ready the legs and, or don't ready the legs and core, but we're going to build out our lunge to start with. So again, bring that left heel over the left toe mound, grounding through the center of the right heel. Inhale the breath. And on the exhale, start bending into the right knee, bring the hips toward the mat again until you have to just start to engage the belly. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can bend that right knee just a little deeper. And release. Ground the hands into the mat and step the left foot up to meet the right and fold. Rotate the palms out. Inhale, sweep the arms high, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale to a long spine, heart lifts. On the exhale, step the left foot back, coming into your lunge. Drop the back knee down, untuck the toes, and send the hips back, coming into half splits. A lot of options here. Toes can stay on the mat. You can flex the toes back toward the face. You can stay high on the hips, or if you like, you can bring the hips down to that left heel. Whatever feels best for you today. We're trying to send the right hip to the back of the mat, bring the left hip forward. Grounding through that right heel, find stability, inhale. And on the exhale, release. Come forward, bring the toes back to the mat, tuck the left toes under, lift the knee. And step the right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Again, feel free to drop the knees to modify. Exhale, lower the whole way down. We're coming into our higher variation of cobra. So bringing the hands to the outside of the mat, popping up to the fingertips. Again, grounding through the pinky toes, lifting the knees off the mat. And when you're ready, hug the core in and press up to a higher variation of cobra. Settling in here, again, pulling the low belly in and up, reach the crown of the head up toward the ceiling, heart pulls through, fingertips pull back toward the hips, and release. Bring the forehead back down to the mat. We'll get ready to press up into plank. So bring the hands just under the shoulders, hugging the elbows in toward the sides. Pull the ribs in toward the spine, tuck the toes under, inhale. And at the bottom of your exhale, squeeze the thighs together, press up into plank, hold strong. Beautiful, guys. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, bring the left foot to the left thumb. Drop the back knee down, straighten the front leg, half splits on this side. All those same options again. Toes can stay down, but can flex. Hips can stay high or lower down to the right heel. And this time we're sending the right hip forward, left hip back. Find stability, deepen the stretch by grounding through that left heel. Maybe even think about starting to drag it back toward the right foot. Inhale. And on the exhale, release. Bring the toes back to the mat. Tuck the right toes under, lift the knee, and step the right foot up to meet the left, and fold. Rotate the palms out, sweep the arms high. We're gonna come into our first back bend. Hand placement of choice. Big fan of goddessing the arms or interlacing the fingers behind the back. Either way, make sure that your feet are about hip width apart. Hug the core in. Think about knitting the ribs and hips together, even though we're about to go into a back bend. It seems a little counterproductive. From there, think about bringing the tailbone down toward the mat. So really curling it under and start coming into your back bend. Send the hips forward to the front of the mat and come into your edge for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Reach the arms high, bend the knees, lower the hips, coming into your chair pose. Chair pose is something that we do in a lot of classes. So think about that intention that you set today. Think about what we talked about at the beginning of class. What do you know? What do you think you know about your version of this pose? Find your tailbone, tuck it down toward the mat. Find your biceps and see if you can get them a little bit higher. Reach the fingers up toward the ceiling, sit a little lower, and release, fold forward. Inhale to a long spine, heart lifts. Exhale, step the right foot back, coming into your lunge. Drop the back knee down, untuck the toes, sweep the arms high. Actually, don't sweep the arms high yet. We're just gonna come into our low lunge to start with. So bring the hands back down to the mat under the shoulders, tuck the chin to the chest, send the hips forward and down. We're just gonna take one cycle of breath here. Inhale and exhale. All right, now let's go ahead and sweep those arms high. We're gonna go a little bit deeper with the back bend. So bring the left hand to the left knee. There's also often a tendency to push into the left knee, but I actually want you to think about grabbing the left knee. Straighten out the shoulders. Send the hips forward and down and start coming into your back bend. Curl the tailbone down toward the mat. Come to your edge for 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Bring the right hand to the mat, tuck the right toes under, lift the knee, step the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Nope, don't do that. I'm sorry, guys. Really on point today. We're gonna go ahead and cat roll forward to plank and lower the whole way down. I'm just jumping the gun here. All right, we're gonna come into up dog. Bringing the wrists underneath the elbows. Ground through the tops of the feet. Feel free to keep the knees down to start with and press into your upward facing dog. Go ahead and check in with the low back. See how you're feeling today. Hug the core in and then maybe lift the knees off the mat if you're feeling good. Start to pull the wrists back toward the tops of the feet. Press through the palms, inhale. And on the exhale, roll over the toes, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, bring the left foot to the left thumb. All right, ready legs and core to take on the weight of the body. Inhale. And on the exhale, send both arms back, palms face down. As you inhale, sweep only the arms forward. Exhale, sweep back. This time, straighten through the front leg, sweep the arms high. Exhale, bend the front knee, sweep the arms back. Inhale, straighten, come high. Exhale, bend. One more time, straighten. This time, bend into that front knee, stay high, coming into your crescent lunge. See if you can sink just a little deeper. And release. Bring the hands down to the mat. Rock the weight forward. Right foot steps up to meet the left and fold. Rotate the palms out. Sweep the arms high. Palms touch. Exhale, sit back into that chair. And come back to what you know about yourself in this pose. Get rid of it and see if you can sink just a little deeper. Curl the tailbone down to the mat. Fire up the glutes. Can you sit just a little lower? And release, fold forward. Inhale to a long spine, heart lifts. Exhale, step the left foot back, coming into your lunge. Drop the back knee down and send the hips forward and down, just coming into a low lunge. Right hip comes back, left hip goes forward. Ground into the mat to deepen, tuck the chin to the chest. We'll take one more full cycle of breath here. Inhale. And exhale. On the inhale, sweep both arms high. We're gonna come into our low lunge back bend. So bring the right hand to the right knee. Grab the knee, pull back on it. This helps to engage the core. Send the left arm up toward the ceiling. Send the hips forward and down. Start coming to your edge for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring the left hand down to the mat. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee. Right foot steps back to meet the left, downward facing dog. All right, let's cat roll forward to plank. And we're gonna do 3 chaturangas today. So, hug the core in, pitch the shoulders forward, lower halfway down, hold your chaturanga, press back up, that's 1. Feel free to drop to the knees to modify. Pitch forward, lower halfway down, squeeze those elbows in, that's 2, press back up, beautiful. All right, 1 more, guys. Pitch forward, halfway down, press back up, and this time go ahead and lower the whole way down to the mat. Go ahead and come back into our upward facing dog. Elbows, press up, and roll over the toes for downward facing dog. All right, let's go ahead and come through that full flow. So cat roll forward to plank, and then lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, sweep the left foot high. Exhale, left foot to the left thumb. Ready, legs and core to take on the weight of the body. Guys, did we do this side? No, I don't think we did. Okay, fantastic. All right, inhale the breath. And on the exhale, sweep both arms back. Inhale, only sweep the arms forward this time. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale, this time we're gonna come high, straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend into the knees, sweep back. Find stability by squeezing the thighs together. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach high. Exhale, come low. One more time, inhale, sweep high, ground through that left heel. And from here, bend into the left knee, coming into your crescent lunge. Build it out. Bring the shoulders over the hips. See if you can sink just a little deeper in that left knee. You guys look fantastic. And release, bring both hands to the mat, rock the weight forward. Right foot steps up to meet the left and fold. Rotate the palms out, arms come high, stand tall. And from here, go ahead and heel turn the feet about the mat width. And we're gonna come into our goddess squat and get ready for crow. So, feet should be pointing about 45 degrees out. And so from here, bring the hands, pressing the elbows to the inside of the knee, letting that resistance just open up the inner thighs. Come tall, bring the heart forward, straighten through the spine, loosen up through the low back. And then if you want, you can go ahead and press the fingertips down toward the mat. All right, and from here, we're gonna come into crow. I think a lot of you know where you're going. So if you do, feel free to head there. And when you're ready, you can shoot back and we'll meet up in downward facing dog. You guys look fantastic. Beautiful. Nice job, Kelly. Oh, nice, Charles. All right, guys, inhale and exhale. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. We're just gonna build this out for a minute, this three-legged down dog. So look back at the foot, flex the right foot toward the face, toes should be pointing down, and check out the foot and make sure it is pointing down and not at all out to the right. Tendencies to reach that right hip up. Now ground through the fingertips, ground through the palms, press back, lengthen through the spine. Send the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. On the inhale, let's go ahead and stack the hips. So bring that right hip on top of the left. You can let the right shoulder lift to start with. And then when you find your stack, bring the right shoulder back down toward the mat. Maybe bend the right knee, bring the heel to the glute. Inhale. And on the exhale, bring the leg back to neutral and bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, come high. Bring the knee to the left elbow. Inhale, come high. Exhale, bring the right foot to the right thumb. Spin the back foot down, get ready for warrior one. Inhale the breath. On the exhale, send both arms back. Inhale, sweep high, coming up into your warrior one. And just settle in for a moment. Send the right hip back, left hip forward. Bring the shoulders back over the hips. Inhale. And on the exhale, see if you can sit just a little deeper. That left heel might start to raise. One more inhale. And on the exhale, let's open up warrior two. Look down, make sure you can see the right big toes. Ground through the outside of the left foot. And notice if you're leaning forward in space. So if you look down, are you right above the hip crease or are you right above the belly button? Hug the thighs in toward the hips. Inhale, sink just a little deeper. And go ahead and flip the right palm forward, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. Left arm comes down the back shin, maybe to a half bind. Send the right knee out toward the right. Inhale. And exhale. Windmill down to the mat. Spin the back heel high. And bring the left hand down to the mat. We're going to take twisting lunge. So right hand can come to the thigh, or maybe send it up to the ceiling. Ground through the center of the right foot. Bring that left hip forward. Inhale. And exhale, release. Bring the right palm to the mat. Step back to plank and flow. Chaturanga. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. And we're going to go ahead and build this one out. You know where we're going? So look back. Make sure that the toes are pointing straight down. Notice if they're pointing at all out to the left. If so, level out that left hip. Ground through the fingertips, the palms. Reach the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. On the inhale, go ahead and stack the left hip above the right. Maybe letting the left shoulder lift to start with, and then bringing it back down to square. Go ahead and bend the left knee. Bring the heel to the glutes. Inhale. And on the exhale, bring the left hip back to neutral. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, reach high. Inhale, knee to right elbow. Exhale, reach high. Inhale, bring the left foot to the left thumb. Spin the back heel down, right legs and core, arms sweep back. Inhale, sweep up to warrior one. And just settle in for a moment, let the hips open. This time we're bringing the right hip forward, sending the left hip back. Bring the shoulders back in space, bending into that left knee. Inhale. On the exhale, see if you can bend just a little deeper. Right heel might start to lift. One more inhale. Exhale, open up warrior two. Heel to heel alignment. Make sure you can see the left big toe. Again, check in with where your shoulders are. When you look down, are you right over the hip crease? Or your eyes right over the belly button? Inhale. Exhale, see if you can sit a little deeper. Then inhale, flip the left palm up, reach forward, reverse your warrior. Get long through the left side body. Inhale. On the exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. And we're coming into twisting lunge. Right hand under the shoulder, left hand comes to the left thigh. Grounding through the center of the left foot. Sending the left hip to the back of the mat. Maybe stacking the left shoulder over the right. Palm goes high. And release. Bring the left hand to the mat. Step back to plank and flow. All right, guys, shift the gaze forward, maybe walking the feet up a few inches. We're gonna do our first jump up. So ground the hands, seal the core, set the shoulders down the back, and walk, jump, or float to the top of the mat. We'll meet up in a forward fold. Rotate the palms out, sweep the arms high, palms touch. Sit back into your chair. Inhale. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Make this your deepest chair yet. And release, fold forward. Inhale to a long spine. We're gonna go ahead and jump to the back of the mat again. You can feel free to come into crow or just ground the hands, seal the core. Come into your flow. We'll meet up in down dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, right foot to the right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. Open up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reach forward and tilt. Coming into straight leg triangle. Setting the right hip underneath the left. Look down, check in with your alignment. See if your gaze is just over your shoulder, just over your ankle. Should all be in line. To deepen the stretch in the hamstring, ground just a little bit more through that right heel. Inhale and exhale. Put a slight bend in the front knee. Inhale, sweep high. Straighten the right leg, reverse your triangle. Send the hips to the front of the mat. Again, checking in with your alignment. Looking down, making sure the shoulder and the ankle are right in line with each other. Ground through the outside of the left foot for stability. Inhale. Exhale, release, bending into the right knee. Bring the right forearm to the right thigh. Extended side angle. And feel free to take your expression here, half bind, full bind, maybe just releasing the elbow down past the knee. Send the hips forward and down. You guys all look amazing. Take one more inhale. And exhale, let's windmill down to the mat. Spin the back heel high, bring the knee to the mat. Sweep the arms high, bring the hands to heart center, and let's prayer twist to the left, or the right. Bring the left shoulder, the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And when you feel stable, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee. If this feels good to you, maybe opening the arms. See if you can bend just a little bit more into the right knee. Feel the stretch in the outer glute. And release, bring both hands to the mat. Step back to plank and flow. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. Rise up, crescent. Open up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reach, tilt, straight leg triangle. Stack the right hip over the left. Check in with your alignment, look down. Ankle, shoulder, nose, all in line. Inhale. And exhale. Slight bend in the left knee, inhale. Sweep the left arm high, send the hips forward. Reverse your triangle. Again, finding your alignment here. Looking down, making sure the shoulder's in line with the ankle. And release, bend into the left knee, left forearm to the thigh. Right bicep by the ear, palm faces down, extended side angle. Hug the thighs into the hips, send the hips forward and down, just like we do in low lunge. And feel free to take your expression. You all look fantastic. Can you go just a little deeper? And release. Bring both hands to the mat, spin the back heel high. Drop the right knee down, untuck the toes, sweep the arms high. Hands come to heart center, and let's prayer twist to the left. Right elbow to the outside left knee. Find your stability here. If this feels good to you, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee. Find strength through that right leg. Maybe opening your arms like wings. And release, bring both hands to the mat, step back to plank and flow. Take an inhale and exhale. What are you holding on to about your practice right now? Release any expectations you have. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, right foot steps halfway up. Interlace the thumbs out in front and slowly rise up to standing. Inhale the breath. Exhale, send the left arm forward, right arm back, standing twist to the right. Think about sending the right hip toward the front of the mat. And still sending the right shoulder to the back of the mat. Deepen your twist. Imagine you have a wall right at that right palm. What happens if you press into that wall? Can you twist a little deeper? And release. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Left arm comes high. Send the hips to the back of the mat. And come into twisting triangle. Send the right hip to the back. Left hip comes forward. Try to distribute the weight evenly through both feet. And stack the right shoulder over the left. Gaze shifts high. And release. Bring the right hand to the mat. And from here, you're free to walk, jump, float, trianga. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. Nice job. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, left foot steps halfway up. Interlace the thumbs out in front, right heel spins down, and rise up to standing. Inhale the breath. On the exhale, right arm comes forward, left arm back, standing twist to the left. And settle in here. Think about bringing that right hip forward. Left shoulder comes back. Again, imagine you have a wall at that left palm. What happens if you press into it? Can you twist a little deeper? And release. Bring the left hand to the hip or sacrum. Right arm comes high. And slowly hinging forward for twisting triangle. Distribute the weight evenly in both feet. The tendency is to bring it all into the left foot. So see if you can find some weight in that right heel. Bring the right hand underneath the nose. Send the left hip back. And stack that left shoulder over the right. Inhale, see if you can twist just a little deeper. And release. Both hands come to the mat. Again, walk, jump, float, trianga. We'll meet up in down dog. All right, guys, bring the knees to the mat, hips to heels, child's pose. Wipe off, grab a sip of water. Great job. And when you're ready, let's meet back up in down dog. All right, guys, take an inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, bring the right foot to the right thumb. We're gonna go ahead and come into lizard, so heel toe that foot out to the other side of the right hand, so both hands are to the inside of the right instep. And then take your expression here, a lot of options. Left knee can come to the mat, or toes can stay tucked and knee can be high if you wanna work on some more strength. You can stay on the palms or drop down to the forearms. You all look fantastic. Take one more inhale. And exhale. Your hands back under the shoulders, walk up to the palms, heel toe the right foot, back under the knee and step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, left foot to the left thumb. We'll just do lizard on this side. Heel toe that left foot to the outside of the left hand and take your expression. Take one more full cycle of breath. Go ahead and come back up to the palms. If you're on your forearms, heel toe that left ankle under the knee and step back, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna jump to the front of the mat. So ground the hands, heel the core, set the shoulders. We'll meet up in a forward fold. All right, we're gonna come into gorilla, or if you like hands to feet, feel free to go there, just a deeper variation. But bend the knees as much as you need to bring the back of the hands to the mat, and then slide the hands palm face up underneath the feet so that the toes are touching the wrist. From here, go ahead and start to straighten the legs until you feel a stretch in the hamstrings, maybe even the calves. If your legs are straight the whole way, then you can start flaring the elbows out to the sides and think about bringing the ribs, the bottom of the ribs to the top of the thighs. And then think about bringing the heart toward the knees. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, release. All right, put a slight bend in the knees, rotate the palms out, sweep the arms high. We're gonna come into our standing bow. So bend the right knee, left arm stays high. Grab the right foot from the instep with the right hand. Then level off, ground through the left leg. And then start kicking straight back. Separate the calf from the hamstring. Trying to keep the heart as high as you can for as long as you can. And when you can't kick back anymore, then you can start to hinge forward. Try to work the right knee off to the left side of the mat. And release. Nice job, guys. Beautiful. Switch it out. Both arms come high. Left hand comes to the side, palm faces out. Grab the left foot from the instep. Ground down through the right foot. And start to kick back into the left hand. Separating the calf from the hamstring. And when you can't kick anymore, then start to hinge forward. Work the left knee to the right side of the mat. Woo. Come into your edge. And release. Nice job. All right. We have one more thing we're gonna do. We're gonna play with tree. So a couple options here. I'm gonna teach through flying pigeon if you want to take a lower variation. So for tree, First part of tree, it's just a balancing posture. It's just keeping the right toes on the ground and bring the heel to about the ankle. You can also bring the bottom of the right foot to the calf, never on the knee. You can bring it up to the inner thigh. And feel free to stay here, bringing the palms to heart center, maybe growing your branches. For deeper variation, we want to rotate the hip down and point the knee down toward the mat. And bring the top of the foot to the bottom of the foot so it's pointing up toward the ceiling, okay? So this is one option. If you want to come into a high variation, arms come high, find your balance, bring the eyes up toward the hands, even closing the eyes, all good challenges. If anyone is interested in a lower variation, I'll demo that. We'd be bringing the ankle down toward the top of the knee, bring the hands to heart center, starting to lower the hips down to the ground, and then bring the hands to the ground and pop up to the toes, and then bring the knee the whole way down. And what we want to do is bring, yeah, you got it. Bring the shins to the right shin to the back of the tricep, and then lifting the hips up, starting to rock forward. Eventually, you're just picking up those left toes. If you feel good, maybe extending back. Nice job. Fantastic. And release. Beautiful. All right, switch it out. Left side. And feel free to find your expression. Again, toes can stay on the ground. Calf, thigh. Bring the foot up to the hip points. It's another time to let go of whatever you expect for your practice today. And slowly start sitting down into your chair. Bring the hands to the mat. And bring the shin so it's pretty much parallel with the front of the mat. Rocking forward, wrapping that left foot around the right tricep. Extend back. And release. All right, guys, nice job. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, swan dive forward. All right, guys, we're coming to the inversion part of class. So we just don't do headstands. Feel free to work on any arm balances. You can try coming back into flying pigeon, pincha, forearm stand, handstand, just no headstands. If anybody wants something to work on, let me know. I'll come around. Yeah, okay. Online people, I'm just gonna shut this off for a hot second. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and come back to our downward. Well, let's come into child's pose. Let's take a hot break. Have a sip of water. All right, and then let's go ahead and come into down dog. Okay. All right. We're going to come through to our seat for core. So shift the gaze forward. If you have a jump through practice, feel free to go there. Otherwise, just walk up and sit down. Send the legs out in front. Okay. Inhale, sweep the arms high. And exhale, let's lower the back. All right. We're not going to do anything crazy today, guys. We're just going to do some standard core. So send both legs high, bottoms of the feet up toward the ceiling. And then reach the palms, reach the fingers up toward the feet. You're going to get out of core what you put into core. So first, let's make sure that the low back is grounded into the mat. You should already feel the core engage. Keep the low back on the mat just like that. And we're going to pulse. Fingertips toward the feet for 10, 9, 8. Try to reach past the feet. 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and bend the knees so that the shins are parallel to the mat. And now we're going to do 10 bicycles on each side. So bringing the right elbow to the left knee, send the right leg long, and the left elbow to the right knee. That's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Low back in the mat. 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Get long. Good job. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and bend both knees. We're going to come into bridge. So bring the heels so that you can touch them with the middle finger. It's about the right distance. Engage the core. Hug the ribs in toward the spine. Hold the core there, and then start to press up through the heels. We're trying to stay out of the back in this posture. We have a tendency to just bring the hips up toward the ceiling, but we're still in the spine. So ground through the center of both heels, ground through the big toe mounds, get strong through the glutes, and then again, adjust and bring the hips in toward the spine. Inhale. And exhale, slowly lower down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Windshield wiper the knees, if that feels good to you. And when you're ready, bring the feet back in the same position they were in. Heels just beyond the glutes. And feel free to do bridge again. Otherwise, I'm going to teach through wheel. So from here, send the hands to the ceiling, palms facing forward, fingertips facing up. And go ahead and flex the wrist so the fingertips are pointing back to the back of the mat. And from there, bend the elbows. Bring the palms to the mat so now the fingertips are facing toward the shoulders. Inhale the breath. And the exhale, squeezing the elbows together, press up. You all look fantastic. Take one more inhale. And exhale, release. Windshield wiper the legs. All right, everyone, surprise, we're gonna do it one more time. So feel free to take bridge. Otherwise, we're gonna take one more wheel. So when you're ready, hands up to the ceiling, fingertips pointing to the back of the mat, bend the elbows, and press. We're gonna hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Lower down. Nice job. Windshield wiper the knees. And go ahead and bend both knees, give them a squeeze, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, gently massaging the low back. And from here, we're gonna go up to down dog, meet up in down dog. So you can feel free to rock forward and back, maybe jump through, do a full chaturanga flow, or if you like, just step back to down dog. All right, we're gonna wind down. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, bring the right knee behind the right wrist. Coming into pigeon. Walking the left toes back. Keeping the right toes flexed. A lot of options here. Take whatever feels best to you. Take one more full cycle of breath. And bring the hands back under the shoulders. Tuck the left toe under, maybe walk it forward just a bit and press back to downward facing dog. Feel free to stack the hips if that feels good to you. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, left knee behind the left wrist. Keeping the toes flexed on the left foot. And take your expression. One more full cycle of breath. And bring the hands under the shoulders. Tuck the right toes under. Walk the foot forward and step back. Downward facing dog. Feel free to stack the hip. And from here, go ahead and just walk forward. If you have a jump through and you want to, feel free to go there. Otherwise, send the legs long. Inhale, sweep both arms high. And exhale. Come forward into stretching pose. Grabbing either the outside of the feet, maybe the big toes. Try to set the shoulders down the back. Bring the heart through. Try not to round in these first few breaths. So you can reach the crown of the head up toward the ceiling while bringing the bottom of the ribs to the top of the thighs. Take one more inhale here. And exhale. All right, from here, we'll go ahead and come into a yin variation of the posture. So you can let the feet relax. Bring the back of the palms to the mat. They'll come either to the upper calves, maybe the knees, maybe the mid calves. And go ahead and let the back round and let the head hang heavy. It's like ragdoll meets stretching pose. Inhale. And exhale. And release. Slowly rise, one vertebrae at a time. Bend the right knee. Bring the right foot to the outside of the left knee, outside the left thigh. Right arm comes back, about 45 degrees off the hip. Reach that left arm high. And you can either hook or hug the right knee. Twisting off to the right, send the gaze off the right shoulder. And try to close the gap between the chest, the stomach, and the thigh. If you feel a gap, start bringing your heart towards your knee. And release. Go ahead and take a counter stretch. Both hands come to the left and start bringing the heart toward the mat. And release. Right leg goes long. Bend the left knee, give it a squeeze. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right leg. Left hand comes off the left hip, sweep that right arm high, get long, and either hook or hug the knee. Gaze goes off the left shoulder. Then again from here, find the distance between the ribs, the stomach, and the thigh. And if there's a gap, start bringing your heart toward the knee. It just helps get long through the spine. And release. Take a counter stretch. Both hands come to the right and bring the heart toward the mat. Send the left leg long. Inhale, sweep both arms high and slowly lower to the back of the mat. Our final pose, Savasana. Starting to scan the body for any remaining tension. It can be hard to focus in Savasana. It's one posture where it doesn't feel like we're being as active as some of the cues might lead us to be in the other postures. So we're not thinking about rooting down through the feet. We're not thinking about aligning our shoulders to our hips. But there's still a lot to look for and adjust. Starting at the crown of the head, just notice if there's any remaining tension. And just start to turn inward and notice how you're feeling in your body. Bring your awareness to your hairline, the bottoms of your ears, to your jaw. Are you holding any tension? Feel the shoulders melting into the mat. Are you holding any tension? The fingertips, the wrist. Find the hip points as they also melt into the mat. Notice if you have any tension in the low back. Scanning down through the thighs, the kneecaps. Letting the feet fall out. Coming back to your practice. Coming back to forgetting about the past, forgetting your goals, your plans, your expectations. It's time to let go of your practice today. Remember that everything you did today was exactly what you needed to do, no more and no less. As you leave the studio tonight, as you continue on with your day, remember to check in with your body and follow your intuition. Let the feeling inside of your body, not your mind, be your guide. May you be safe and healthy. May you be happy. May your souls be fulfilled. And may you walk this world with peace and love in your hearts. Namaste.